Hello everybody and welcome back to TJ's Lego Room, and today we are going to be reviewing the LAAT or Republic Gunship. I've got a couple helpers in here today to do a little bit of the review. We have Ben, say hi Ben.
Hi.
And Carter, say hi Carter.
Hi, Carter.
That's awesome. Okay, so gosh, that was great. So this is the brickvault mock that they sell. They sell the instructions in their web store. We'll do a quick plug for them. It's brickvault.toys, I believe. And this, I gotta say, is actually a pretty cool ship. It's always been one of my favorites. This is one of the fan favorite ships from the entire Star Wars series. It's one of my personal favorites, absolutely. Just going over all the initial stuff, the overall look, the design of it is amazing. I love how he integrated all the things together, how the slopes just kind of mesh together and continue up the way through. The guy who designed this did a really great job. I was short of a couple pieces that are supposed to be coming in the mail eventually whenever they get them back in stock. But there's a little gap here that shouldn't be there. I should have a piece to cover that, as well as matching on the other side. I did change a couple things. Just the back nubs here. I put the round R2-D2 dome heads instead of the R5 dome heads because in looking at the pictures, I think these ones looked a little bit closer. But overall, I mean, this thing is amazing. You've got your front cannons that rotate. I mean, it's pretty much unanimous. Anytime you have a ball joint laser cannon in a Star Wars ship, you always use these same pieces. They're always the same. And then you've got the pods here, which are so much fun. Let's go ahead and pull those off and show you a little bit closer. So they are a little small for the guy, but if you imagine that there's like a glass bubble around it, it works out just fine and turns out pretty good. So these are a little tenuous when you put them in. They're only held on by, a half a Technic pin worth, so kind of a half a stud worth of clutch, which isn't my favorite. That, like I said, I mean, they're very easy to pull in and out, as you saw right there. I mean, just boop, pop it right out like that. So it is a little bit more sensitive than I probably would like. The whole integration on the cockpit section is amazingly cool. I know they mentioned in their video the stitching pattern, and I really like that too. It's just these pieces are really hard to come by and fairly expensive. You can get both your clone pilots in there. So fun. They don't actually stud in. It's an easy solution if you want to change out the tiles that they use for studs instead. It's not hard at all. I left it just tiled because they actually fit in pretty good when you get them into their seated position. They fit in there pretty well. A lot of the parts are pretty expensive. I think they say it's about $200 if you want to buy all the parts, and I'd say that's fairly close. I had 75% of the parts all together already, and it still took almost $100 to complete it. Worth of stuff. I ended up finding some more stuff later, but about $100 worth of parts is what I ended up putting into Bricklink, and then having to cannibalize some parts from other things to get it done. The profile, the front-on look is just spot on. I just love it. Another note is this is definitely the Clone Wars TV series version of the gunship, and I've actually made some modifications and some changes to it because I didn't entirely like some of the way that it went together on the model. For some reason, the windows that they have here are offset. They're not right on in the instructions, and so I actually staggered them so that they were a little bit closer together. Another way you can know that this is the Clone Wars variant is in the movie, as far as I can tell, they never have this front section on, ever. And then they also have this hole here, comes all the way to the top in the Episode 2 version. In the Clone Wars version, they just have the small hole, which is what is shown here. Also in the Clone Wars, I couldn't find a reference photo when they actually had these on the ship. There was one case where they had the lights on it when they were attacking one of the places, but it was Umbara. Yep, it was Umbara. Thanks, Ben. So usually these were filled in, and then you could have two. But then it opens up, and the opening is actually really smooth. I was really happy with it. The one part about the opening that I'm not super happy with is how many characters can fit inside here, and that's not very many. I've got Yoda and a couple of clone troopers in here, and that's almost all you can get in there. It's really tight inside there. Let me see if I can get a light here to show you a little bit better. Oh, that's really bright. Yeah. So you can see I've got Yoda and a couple clones in there, and that's pretty much all you can get inside. Which is kind of annoying. So here, let me just pull this down, and so you can get a better look. So there you go. You can fit a couple more guys, but it is extremely tight in there. I mean, you've only got, basically 5 studs or 4 studs width inside there to actually place a guy. So that's one thing I think I would have liked better, but I don't know how you would do better, But again, those things slide really well. This is really loose because it's only held on by a single Technic pin. This one, the back one is a lot more sturdy, but this front one tends to move around quite a bit. And in my experience, I haven't been able to pull it out as easily. Unless this back one is already open, or put it away. So if I close this one and go to put this one away, you can see it gets hung up right there, and so I kind of have to open this one, then slide it in, and then close it. It goes pretty tight. I mean, as probably as good as you can expect from the constraints that he had to work with on this thing, But yeah, those are a couple things. Also, the one thing that I've been frustrated the most with is the way it sits. So if I get down here, you can see that it's not quite level. It leans back. It's very back heavy, and I know it looks like I'm lifting it up on the back when I push this down. I'm actually not. That's how much flex it has in the rear. So what I ended up doing is I reinforced the rear section a little bit with a couple extra plates and some tiles, because everything was held on by about 4 studs, and that didn't quite cut it. So that was one improvement that I think I made that I really enjoyed. It does have the ramp lowering. Let me see if I can get it. Curse me for not having fingernails. Alright, there we go. So it does have the lowering ramp, so you can see inside there. You can see one of the clones right there. And that's pretty cool. I think it's neat that he was able to integrate that. Unfortunately, some structural stability, I think, was sacrificed in order to get that. But it has it, so, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's a really good set. If you have most of the pieces already, then you're going to be in great shape. These lime green pieces were also a little bit pricey. I'm not sure how many sets those came in. Obviously the clone, the troopers I already had, because, I collect them, which is nice. Another thing I'll probably end up doing is in episode 2, it actually did not have these, and it had the pods connected here. Behind the opening that's right there. So I may actually try to add some of those. And then in episode 2, pretty much the entire movie, these back gates are open the entire time. And then you can stage a whole bunch of guys. One other thing I did is they use regular bricks here. I decided to go with this snotted bricks so that I could add more guys on here afterwards and make it a little bit more of an attack vehicle. Have some more clones inside there. And so you can fit a lot of them in there when the sides are open, which is kind of nice. It's just when it's closed that it gets really, really tight. So I'm gonna change it up a little bit and see if I can't make some different changes and make it more of an episode 2 gunship rather than a Clone Wars TV series gunship. So, but as far as the TV series gunship goes, this is pretty awesome. They also did have instructions for lights, the lights that they use in on Umbara. I did not build those, but you're welcome to do it. I just didn't think the lights were the coolest part of the gunships. So anyway, hope that was a useful review for you. Hope everything was going well, and we'll catch you next time in TJ's Lego Room. Say bye, Ben.
Bye.
Say bye, Carter.
Bye, Carter.
See ya.